Anyone hear me? Anyone here? If you are, say hello. Or don't. Totally up to you, like. Hey, fried Rudy Baker. Fried Rudy Baker. Hey, Derek. Hey, David Beebe. Hey, Tim. Are you Simon's brother? Hey, David. Nacho time. It's actually Nacho. It's Nacho. This is K-Line. A lot of people have said about this one, like in the Instagram comments and stuff. So, good lordy, it's John Gordy, says Harry. Hey, John. MG15, Michael says. Is that a Marshall MG15, the little solid state one? What didn't you like about it? So yeah, I thought as a primer to like a bit of chat, if you want it. Oh, that nearly went, didn't it? This here. Oh, the baby crying. No, this is the living room, which is of course the baby's room now. As a primer to, if you want to contribute in terms of conversation, your best and worst gear, I'd like to hear that. Niv, I'm looking for a preamp pedal to use with the HX effects. The Revival Drive? Revival Drive is a good bet. Try Atkins electric guitars. I have, Javier. I played them at the Birmingham Guitar Show, or I played one of them. Really great. And Lawrence, I think it was his name, who makes them. I was with David Beebe at the time. Tim Dale says, I'm trying to learn jazz. Loads of people recommend I get a telly. Can you recommend a model? Not bothered if it's US built. The Mexican Vintera Nocaster 2 might be a good starting point if it has to be new. Or other options out there I'm thinking of right now, like a Mexican Road Worn. Don't know how expensive they'd be now. Those are some options. Other people, feel free to jump in the chat. Vintera Nocaster is the most obvious one here. Shrenesh Bhagava says, got Hotone Ampero 2 makes too much noise. Any suggestions? I would use the noise gate on it if you're using higher gain tones. Wet Craig has a really important question here, so let's give this some time. Wondering if you still feel the Nacho is good value. Have some savings. How many savings have you got, Wet Craig? My wife and I were putting aside for a baby, but I became infertile after eating scented candles and now have cash to spend. Were they Gwyneth Paltrow candles? Have you played a telly with a Tone Rider humbucker in? I haven't. I had some Tone Rider pickups in my Stratocaster initially. BR Bogo, Larrivee D60 acoustic, or an EJ Strat. Great shout. I'd probably grab the Larrivee in the house fire. It'd probably be good kindling. I'm between Yamaha Revstar, Gibson Les Paul Studio. Do you have any recommendation? The necks on them are probably going to be quite similar, I'd guess, if it's like 50s style Revstar. Is this doing okay? UAFX Enigmatic Dream. I was just going to guess that if you're using HX effects, you'd want like an actual analog one. If I would say something by Kingsley or Origin Effects might be my first choice. Evening from Cape Town, says Alex B. Hey. On the Gibson Les Paul Studio versus Revstar, I think my first instinct would maybe be Les Paul Studio, maybe like an older one, maybe. But give the Revstar a try, you might really love it. I think the one thing that it doesn't have going for it is it's not a classic yet, right? Sleeping on the Swedish Chainsaw is the best fuzz that's not a fuzz in the HX Stomp. Should I do a video on that? Sandra, in brackets, my ex-wife killed my dog. Great to see you live streaming again. Right, well, sorry about the dog, bro. The best neck I have is my Harley Benton offset kit I built. That's awesome. How much was that? How did you find it? Christopher bought a Tone X1 to go with the HX effects, or the H90, or both. Yeah, Derek, so the maple on the Nacho feels amazing, and what Chris does at K-Line also feels amazing. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's kind of French polishy. It's hard to describe, but they're not like properly like relicked on the back here or anything, but it's kind of, it's like got a little bit of finish, but this one feels a bit French polishy. It's really nice. That tends to be what K-Line does if he's not putting nitro, but if you're finding it sticky and it is a keeper guitar, I would encourage you to take some Scotch-Brite to it. What about on the front? On the front it doesn't have that French polish stuff, so it's kind of like, as you can see, it doesn't have stickiness to it. Generally the stickiness, I think, comes from having like newer nitro. Yeah. Every Gibson guitar from 2015 is the worst. They can't all be that bad, right? What about like a Gibson faded 50s? Might be quite nice. Thinks the paint costs more than the kit. I actually bought an all parts neck the other day, and I'm kind of tempted to do a video like, I don't want to hear anyone say something's a parts caster again, because it's so much work to get them from the actual parts to feeling like a really good guitar. Jordan Marrett says, big fan, this is a like, not a fan. I tune into every video with a question mark. What advice do you have to help someone decide tube versus digital? I would base most of it on, are you gigging, or are you able to actually get the things turned up to some sort of volume? What do you already have? Are you feeling like you're lacking? Would be my questions. MG Lax bought a envelope filter pedal, only used it a couple of times. Yeah, I can relate to that. You know, sometimes you buy a pedal and you're like, what is this actually good for? I have a Squier HH Strat that I'm looking to upgrade the humbuckers on. I play rhythm guitar with an emphasis on hard rock, so I was thinking about the Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates. Any advice? I'm not really a guy who knows. I'll be asking you questions, Finn, about pickups. Like, I've not got tons of experience on loads of them. I actually put out an Instagram story today, similar sort of question. Like, I'm putting together a Telecaster custom parts caster build, which has 2 humbucker sort of routes. And yeah, I was kind of considering what should I get in that. I think I'm going to go with Monty's Retro Wines after speaking to Monty's and also Charlie Allen. Right, should we do some playing, or do we want to just talk? £79 in 2022. Yeah, that is a crazy. So imagine how they're making a profit on that. This is what I don't get. Right, have we got any sort of requesty things? Any experience with a telly that's equipped with a telly bridge pickup and a Strat neck pickup? It's a good question. Absolutely, yes. If you go way far back on the channel, oh, finger bang. I see you now, bro. That's alright. Cheers, finger bang. Yeah. You got me, Jim. You look a bit different to I imagine. Nice camera. Jim, you're here every time. What were we saying? Thank you for your... Wait. Any experience with the telly that's... a telly bridge pickup and a Strat neck pickup? Yes, I had a Sir, which has a Mike Landau neck pickup, and then the... just a normal telly bridge. It was great. I think it's a really good idea. Right, what are we going to try and play? I don't... Jim wins. Right. Let's try this. So Lenny's doing a bit of work, so I'm just here with you guys for a bit. If you want to chat about anything, feel free. You are playing some lovely spiced chords. 1975. Which 1975 tune, Harry Sound? I did a review on the Sterling CTS HSS. I have one with a very flamey neck. Yeah, I thought that was a really, really surprising guitar for the money. I think I might be reviewing another one of theirs. I've asked if I could do a Luke. Hey, it's Justin. Justin is a proud owner of one of the Anderton's road-worn Strats, the limited red ones that I did a video on. Did I mention him yesterday? And he's also Anthony's son. Stub Chuggins wants a 1975 medley. Harry Sound, which 1975-ish tune? I'm in love with you. Are you? See where this goes. What are the lyrics to this? I've forgotten that. Oh. Right, let's... Someone type the first lyric and I'll be able to remember how the tune goes. I've got the middle 8 at the minute. I've still got Holding Two Dicks asks, is the Nacho no more? Dog out. Oh, you win. Alright, welcome to my house. So that dog is 14 and now blind. Chris Reynolds, what are some of your favourite modulation pedals, especially ones that are great for clean tones? A chorus, but fact, Scott? I'd be interested to know. What happens if you just turn them off? Players that you might want to listen to, Ertan, if you dig my playing. There's lots of people that are much better than me. I would listen to Eric Johnson, one of my favourite players. Alan Hines, another of my favourite players. Johnny, how you doing, bud? How's it in Hawaii? MG Lax, this is my time to warm up, basically, or just play. Warming up is less of a thing for me at the current stage that I'm in, just because I've got a baby, so I don't have much time. Well, she's 2 now. Alan Hines, Eric Johnson, Alan Holdsworth I really like. Who else? concert players. John Petrucci a little bit back in the day. What amp sim pedal would you recommend for an ampless DI pedal board with HX effects for your playing style? I would just use the HX Stomp generally. Other things that I really like, the Revival Drive I mentioned. Looking at the Colorado Rocky Mountains here, that must be nice. Yeah, the Revival Drive stuff is good. Got to stream on while I'm sanding some drawers in the wood shop. What wood are you on? Got a question here from Wet Craig. What are you driving to get your gear around? I'm looking for a new car, not brand new, ideally no older than 2011, mid-size and Japanese. Do you have any recommendations? I'd go with the Toyota Camry. Thoughts on a quad cortex repair that costs €440 when the device had only been used in my home studio for 3 years and never saw a gig? Why were you having to pay for the repair? Tell us more on this. I think this is the, well, I mean, dare I say it, but there's a whole bunch of quad cortex breakages that are going unspoken about from artists, unfortunately. Are the HX Stomp and Ampero 2 Stomp comparable? Absolutely, yeah. I think Hotone, Hot One, however they say it, are one of the best of the others, if you get what I mean. Basically, anyone that I know, including artists, that have had a quad cortex have had one break. Now, this is true of international sort of artists as well, and it's often the case that if you see a real pro using a quad cortex like Rob Harris, they'll have 2 on their board, or they have a spare. There's a reason for that, but you know, if you're an actual neural DSP artist, you're not gonna talk about it, I don't think. Is it a CPU thing? No, it's just, for me, what happened with my one was that it got like a constant thing that was going on. Repair costs were applied because my unit fell outside of the 3-year warranty. They were fixing stuff out of warranty for a while, so this is a new thing. Have you gone public with this, Trebu? Yeah, because this is the dark side of the quad cortex story that I think is going under spoken about. I did do a video on it when mine broke and everyone that I knew had one break, and they were repairing them under warranty at that time, so it was kind of fair enough. Best gear, my player telly, 35 years playing. I had the telly moment last year. That's awesome to hear, Stu. I'm right with you. Been my go-to ever since. I can't figure out what took me that long to get it, but better late than never. Yeah, exactly. Better to find a telly now before. Yeah, Harry Sound looks gently down at the FM9, which is probably saving the day for a lot of these people. Did the SVL feel as special as the Nacho? No, the SVL was like nice pieces of wood, but wasn't to me anything more special than a K-line. Have you ever thought about HX Stomp as well as using the Nano Cortex together? I think I gigged that as a rig. I brought this up in the NeuroDSP Discord and it was mostly ignored. I think they run a fairly tight ship mod-wise, right? Have you tried Reddit or anything like that? Yeah, the Camry's really good. How you doing, John March? Right. Since John's here, let's try more chords. Oh, I could try and play this. was me trying to play Galveston by Jimmy Webb. How do what am I playing through right now? Helix. Peter Moss. I don't follow any Zeitgeist or Equal Gas, but no one in the US cares. My gift to you guys in the UK, I'm obsessed with the Boss BP1W. Yeah, I did a demo on that one. It's cool. It's Mark. Are you a fan of Mark Knopfler's playing? What I've heard of it, yeah. I've not heard tons though. Ertan, I have quite small hands and I struggle with using my thumb. What are you doing with them? I've been trying for a while, but it just doesn't work. Hey, Wadey. Yeah, I've not heard a ton of Mark's playing, but what I have is great. I did a little video for Keith where I was kind of trying to dial in Keith at 5 Watt World, where I was trying to dial in a Knopfler tone, and it was quite eye-opening, like how clean he's playing and how awesome. I think my uncle's a big fan of Dire Straits. Mateo Mancuso is an amazing player, yeah. Small hands and struggle with using your thumb. Is there anything that you definitely need the thumb for? I guess if you're doing like Hendrixy stuff, but in general, I think you can get away with not having to use your thumb. It's not. I don't think it's essential. I don't know. Vote in chat. Are you a thumb over guy or are you a traditional? I wish there were more pop songs with bluesy undertones in music nowadays. Go see Vince Gill, nice. I saw an article the other day that Fender offered to make a replica of his Blackguard, and he just said no, there's no point. John, you use single coils a lot. Do your JC Gumroad presets have a recommendation showcasing the EQ for that guitar versus using humbucker and mini humbucker? I just look for the guitar to be shaping the sound rather than trying to make presets for every type of guitar, if that makes sense. Who was your biggest inspiration when you started playing? Quite an easy one, that. It would be like Gary Moore and Thin Lizzy. Henry's guitars? They look like the best guitars under 1,000, at least according to the very limited YouTube video on them. Is there any chance you might try them in the future? If you want to email them and suggest to them that I could demo their guitars, feel free. I've just got an artist guitar in the hallway because I've started to see people talking about them. John Oddie encouraged me to check them out, so yeah, I decided that would be an idea. Your first inspiration was Tim Henson. That's interesting. So you're quite young then, and discovered John Mayer and SRV. John Mayer was kind of what took me out of being quite obsessed with like prog and fusion. John Mayer was like my transition back into the pop world. Genital Warts says, I'm trying to learn a song and the intro of the chord it uses the thumb to play an F over the lower E string and I can't get over it, play the other notes while I'm not muting the higher E string. Is there a cream for that, Jenna? Old man Fran is here. John, check out Mark's stuff if you ever have trouble getting the proper Delta blues or old time arrangement shapes. Tune it, it'd be discouraging when you really get into it. We've got any more candidates for great gear, terrible gear? Drake Bug. Is he still around? Yep, Jim, he's been clocked what's happening. I struggle with practicing and tend to noodle what I know. Any suggestions on discipline? It depends on, so how old are you? What is your job? And how much time do you have? Do you have kids? All these sorts of things. Sell a quartz. That's a watch, eh? Best guitar bought is my 78 Greco LP Standard. Nice. Has that got the Greco dry Z pickups in it? Quarter Livermore also lives in a house with a kid. So Smart Mammal is an IT engineer in aerospace robotics. That sounds like a scary job. Cheers, John. I don't know. It feels to me like when you get back to playing your guitar, like it should be relaxing for you if you're doing aerospace robotics as your day job. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't worry too much about like, but what I would do is maybe write down like one key goal of a thing that you want to get better at and focus on that and keep that like as a sole focus. I did a video on this fairly recently after chatting to David Beebe at Birmingham Guitar Show, and this idea that as we get older, like it's not possible to necessarily get super amazing at everything, but we can sort of focus our attention on one or two things, or maybe even just one thing, keep that the goal, and it could be a really useful way to kind of focus our attention and actually make progress. Because you know, if you think I'm only trying this one specific thing, like whether it might be legato as your focus or jazz chord melody, for a long time for me, like it was just learning jazz tunes. So yeah, lessons from Robert Baker, that's cool. Do I have the favourite Eric Clapton song? Yeah, it's this. Let's see. Wait, 2, 3, well, that's gone wrong, isn't it? I run out of thing. Hey, Tim, new music review, I think. There's got to be a Tim on it. Well, someone got it. Let's try to do this with. So yeah, Change the World if you've not heard it. I also really love Higher Love. Things that I've got the Plus pedal from David Barber, which is apparently based on the Gainster. The Gainster apparently is like a Boss OD1 is the starting point for that. I don't know if you agree with that, Peter. Old Love is a great tune as well. Lester Cond, I got a JV Strat from Japan. What do you think about the JV Fender? I'd love to try one. I hear very good things. There's a Billie Eilish song, Hostage. Phineas from the bass note, frets the bass note of that F chord with his thumb. I can't do that, especially on the Seagull with a 180mm nut. I don't know how wide Finn's nut is. We're all wondering about Finn's nut. Is that F considered a tricky thing? Jeremy asks, have I used the Digitech Trio pedal? I have. When I used to use it, I hadn't worked on my timing enough. And I used to find that it would sometimes just be a bit tricky. I really like let's do another Clapton tune, which I think is underrated, even though everyone knows it. Hey, John. Gable, no. Good recommendations for jazz guitars. What qualities a good jazz guitar possesses and pickups that are good for the genre? You only need a neck pickup. A telly works great for jazz, and if not, something hollow. I had an Ibanez PM35 for ages. Hey Martin, how you doing? Let's do the middle 8 because this is like my favourite bit of the tune. Wait, 1, 2. Clapton gets slept on nowadays because of the racism. It's just, I think, such a great ballad. Yeah, Martin, it would be great to jam with you. Is that all you guys paid for a Silver Sky 2100 as a bargain? Derek, what do I really think about the Silver Sky's Grash? I don't hear much about LSL. They look great. Yeah, then Higher Love is another of my favourite Clapton tunes, which he wrote with Steve Winwood, right, I think. What's the special semi-hollow? PRS, right? Gabe, that was the middle 8 of Wonderful Tonight. Well, sort of. That was what the chords were based on by Eric Clapton. You probably heard it. It's Gravity before Gravity was written. The Dells are still updating. So how are we getting into space if the Dells are needing an update? Hey, what was I talking about? Roland, hey, hope you're good. I'm using Helix. You're the guy who's asking about the player, right? The player 2. Helix, I'm using a dual amp preset which is called JC Dual Litty Arist. If I could only have one amp mark, I would have a Sir Bella, but I already have 2 amps that would be kind of difficult to sell on. I've got a Pro Reverb, a Fender Pro Reverb from 1965, and yeah, like random stuff, like a Fender Deluxe Reverb, but I would happily ditch them all for just a Sir Bella Reverb, to be honest. If I could find a Sir Bella Reverb head, take the money. Someone asked what guitar would I buy if money was not an issue. That was kind of what the Nacho was supposed to be, and kind of is. The idea with that guitar. Jeremy, if you've already got a Fractal FM9, I would say stick with that. I don't think there's a compelling reason to jump away from Fractal anywhere at the moment. Chat, feel free to jump in if you've got an opinion on that, but I think the thing that... Cheers, Twisted Line. Sorry, I didn't get to your comment in time, but hope the page... If you get to try a page, it depends on your rig, but I preferred like the Harlot, which had a bit more drive to it. Do I think more over pentatonic scale or over chord changes when moving fast? I think 3 note per string when moving fast. What do you think is next for the Kemper? I've got literally no idea. Oh yeah, well, on the Fractal to Helix thing, maybe Helix native if you're really into like digital stuff. And find that working into your workflow. But I would be thinking that maybe something that can run NAM might be something else. And Niv is asking for the FM9. Is there too many modelers? It's a good question, Harry. I think there is a lot of them. I think it's super dominated by like American companies as well, and your DSP of course, but studying rhythm chops. Oh yeah, and T-Bone, they make a batch of Pine T-Bones every year if you guys are into the Pine thing. Ray Parker, nice. Have you seen the new Tone King Imperial pedal? Yes, I did. It looks cool, and I've heard great things about it from Varon, who I message. We're running out of guitar players, too many models. Where is Deep Impact and the other mechanics? I don't know what's happened. Have you seen the new Tone King? Yes. Have you tried a Bareface Reality FR112 cab with modelers yet? I have. I didn't love it. I need to email him and tell him that. I was going to do a video with it, but yeah, I was going to take it to a gig and then I plugged it in, and I just find I prefer the Tone X cab or the Fender FR12. I really like them because it basically plugged into them, and was it the most realistic version of what your presets could sound like? Maybe not. but it actually does a lot to kind of get the tones that I'm wanting just louder, without the harshness. So yeah, FR12 for me, or Tonex Cab, I would choose over those. I think the industry lives off us a lot buying more than one guitar or pedal modeler. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely, you need to be. The rate of gear churn is what keeps the industry going, right? But the caveat being that modelers seem to be the one thing where it's like, if you bought a Helix in 2015 or a Fractal FM9 in 2020, those things really do keep giving. Do you have a favourite song you do at gigs? Keep feeding us those gig videos, by the way. Awesome to see, Derek says. I will do. I've actually got an idea for a video coming up. Testicles says, I saw somewhere you started in church music. Do you play it acoustic at all, or is it all on the lecky? Yes, it's good stuff. No, I mostly play electric unless I'm supporting in like a duo setting a singer, in which case I'll definitely get an acoustic for that. Davey asked, I don't know if someone already asked this, but do you have any plans of releasing some original music? I'd love to hear more recent music from you besides those that are already on Spotify. To be honest, I don't think there's a huge appetite for that. I don't know if any of you guys out there have tried doing like original music, and the slog is real. The rewards, I think, are less real. So for me, there are many other things that I'd be spending my time on before I did like a release like that. I think at this stage, maybe when I've got more free time, maybe when I stop doing 1 million videos a day. Harry's still recording songs from 2012. Favourite songs to play live? I really like playing. I don't know if I'll be able to play this in time to any sense, but let's give it a go. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I really like playing Ain't Nobody, the Shaka Khan tune. Oh, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, actually. I love playing that tune. Footsteps in the Dark is really fun to play. Hey Crits. Any luck with Coda Music? This is I Want to Be Your Lover-ish by Prince. Really like that one. Boys Are Back in Town. I love playing that song. I wouldn't imagine that, sorry, Tim asked earlier if I had anything stolen. I doubt it, but I haven't watched enough of his videos to know, but I very much doubt it. I don't have a TV to watch Eurovision, Harry. Nachos. custom shop, which is better in your opinion? I don't know, chat, what's your experience? I think you get a little bit more for your money with a boutique guitar, but you'll keep more of your money if you sell a custom shop. Does that make sense? Same scale or similar runs no matter what key I play. Any tips for expanding? What should I focus on to really open up? Learning individual licks, focus on different scales. I would say playing a different area of the neck is one idea. So like up here. And then I guess be really honest with yourself about what it is that is happening when you're playing. Like, do you know if you've got time for this sort of stuff, Jeremy? Do you have a good knowledge of, like, if you're playing in G major, what does that mean to you? All that sort of stuff. And like, will my finger do? I prefer a toe. Charles has a really good point. You know, if you're thinking boutique versus custom shop, depends on when you're looking at the guitar. Can you live with it not saying Gibson or Fender? Do you mean a music man? You mean a Milkman Creamer 20, right? Oh, you'll love Jam. Have you heard the Bon Iver version? Bon Iver? Bon Iver, I don't know. I would just read the update instructions carefully, Gaurav, and don't make any sort of rash decisions. Let's try this. We'll use that as our basis. I wouldn't say Sir is boutique anymore. I think they're probably too big a brand to be boutique. other folks could let. I think we normally mean by boutique, you know, like a 1, 2, 3, 4 man kind of setup. I've got a mic here and the Helix Gorav. Yeah, Bon Iver. I think it's called Justin Vernon, his version of it. It was under. If you check YouTube, it's incredible. The London guitarist. Why does your sofa have a sex cage in it? Why doesn't yours, Alex? Hope you're doing well, bud. It's to stop dogs jumping up onto it. One of our dogs, her back went. So that was the kind of idea of it. It's not entirely a sex cage. Can I play your black one? Right, let's get some drive on. Ah, cheers, old man Fran. And I apologise for that wrong note. Cheers, Trev. HX Stomp, probably. I've seen some of Sean Mann's stuff on Instagram. Yeah, great player. I think he's from the north of England, right? Drennan, Martin. Am I a fan of alternate tunings? The answer to that really is honestly no, because I feel like it kills off a lot of my instinct as a guitarist. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this. I know when people talk about playing the guitar, they talk a lot about knowing what is going to come out of it, or like knowing note names and all that stuff. I think, for me, I don't really try and hide much of this, but I feel like I'm playing a lot on instinct a lot of the time. And if you change tunings, these things kind of just don't really work anymore. I can't play Glistered Dover. Gorav, set it to strobe mode. Maybe try that. or take it out of fine mode. Boutique builders have their own personal stations. That was an awful explanation, sorry mate. I think that's not a bad explanation. That's perfectly legitimate. I think what would we like, the custom shop is not a boutique thing anymore, is it? And neither Sir, because they're like mass manufactured instruments. Like if there's one guy building guitars, that's definitely boutique, right? Like Seth Backus or K-Line. A master builder Fender shop, I don't think is even, because he's still involved in the CNC operation for most of it, right? Which is not necessarily even a bad thing. I think the whole point of Tellys and Strats and stuff were designed to be mass manufactured, right? If I'm using the revival drive with the HX effects in a DI, do I need a power amp of some sort? Sorry, I don't know much about this stuff. It's a good point actually, because the revival drive, you'd need an IR. Have you seen My House Studios channel? Guy makes some cool guitars. He's kind of close to here somewhere. I don't know where he is though, but he's definitely Devonshire. I saw a video that my buddy, John Plays Guitar is in the chat here. Sent me one of his reviews of the Artist guitar. Does anyone know where he's actually based? Maple or Rosewood? I'll go Rosewood most times. He says Plymouth, right, so that'll be Plymouth then. Which is like about an hour away from me. Why do people use power amp with Axe effects? It's because they're using a cab. What does it do? Is it better sounding than going to FRH by XLR? I don't know this stuff. No, it's just because they're using a real cab. There'd be no reason to do that if you're just going direct. Is it worth getting a maple Silver Sky if you don't like the lacquered neck? I don't know, I've never really even considered getting a maple Silver Sky, because for me, like, a Strat should have a rosewood neck. It's what I prefer. That's kind of my personal preference, so you guys may be different. So you think I can run the revival drive in the effects loop with the HX effects with the IR block on the HX effects without additional power amp? Absolutely, Niv. There's a video of me doing that back along. If you search like revival drive on my channel, you'll see I've done a few videos with it. If you're looking for this specific kind of thing, that is. I imagine Han is quite similar, right? There's quite a lot of them, but it's kind of these little builders like maybe Danocasters, maybe Nash guitars. You know, like luthiers. some ways you could think of as like a little bit of a boutique thing as well, right? But I think generally, if you can get a bit of a name, presumably building Telecasters and selling them is more lucrative if you can sell them for like $3,000 or whatever the boutique price for a guitar is than just doing repairs on other people's stuff, I'd assume. I think Silver Sky knobs and switch feel flimsy. I agree, Christine. Any requests for something? Oh. It's my very bad attempt at a Tom Quayle lick. Do some EJ. Try that again. Actually, maybe I can make something pretty happen here. Hey Joe. I've got right, let me start again. Didn't work, did it? This has got 10s to 42s on the bottom, so it feels a little bit lighter there. I cannot play. I don't know any front bottoms Quim taste. Thank you very much, Jim. That's very generous of you. Slowly on When the Sun Meets the Sky is a banger, yeah, right. So let's try that instead of whatever I'm doing here. I would recommend the Fender FR12s or Tonex cabs. I personally use JBL LSR 305s. Chat can give their suggestions. Anyone out there got any that they like, please feel free to help. Nobles are you looking at? Cheers, Ron. Anyone want me to carry on playing that, just let me know. But yeah, the hand is feeling good, Joe. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, I've been doing more exercise, and gardening is one of the worst things I think that can give your hands like a bit of a fatigue, pretty bad. Craig, yeah, let me know which Nobles you're looking at. I've had a few of them. If you don't have a budget for a Fender FR cab, would you recommend headrush PA speaker or studio monitors? Are you going to be gigging these things? At home, I almost always am using JBL LSR 305s. So yeah, all of them are on the table. Keep going over Bukovac's videos with him A-Bing them. Yeah, in that one there's a Nobel's ODR Mini, which he quite likes, in the blind test, which is kind of interesting, right? I've got two of the original Nobel's ODR ones. They're great, but I mean there are lots of good things about just the Nobel's ODR Mini. There's an ODR 1X as well, which is pretty cool. That's the one that I've got on my board, I think, because that's got a bass cut built in. He seemed to really like the gold one as well. I haven't had that one. Do you know Shit Twins by Dads? No, I don't, Jim. Yeah, he loved the Mini, and then I think when he found out it was a Mini, it was a bit of a surprise to him, right? I have one, but looking at upgrading to Tonex, not a headrush. Do you know the Alesis Elevate 5 Mark II? I do not, sorry. Right, I'm going to go back to When the Sun Meets the Sky. I've only got JBL LSR 305s, and that's all I've used. Hello, Leo. biggest thing I think can help your phrasing is trying to play stuff that singers play or that really melodic players play. Disney stuff. So let's go for a bit of Phil Collins, who definitely didn't have to go this hard. Exactly like playing singing. Yeah, play things that you've heard people singing before, things that you really like the melody of. I think that's a real thing. Find a company that matches your musical dharma can change everything. Like, what matches your musical dharma, Peter? I also like the mention of dharma. Can you give me an example? Yeah, I can. So, say, I really like Disney melodies in general. So, let me think of Part of Your World, the Little Mermaid one. Let It Go. Those ones, yeah. A Whole New World. Right, let me try. My fingers. Let's try the chorus. Sorry, that was bad, but I haven't done that before. Over game, you don't play on a certain scale when improvising. Well, you do, yeah. You need to know, like, all of these I'm playing just in D major. So if you know D major really well, you can play, like, anything in D major. It's the lesson there. The one from Pocahontas, I don't know that one. Any other Disney requests? Oh, this one's for Jim. No, I don't think pentatonic for this sort of thing. You probably want to know your major scale pretty well over game. If you know your major scale well, you can play Disney. If you don't, you'll struggle with Disney. Little Wing. Let me try it. One, two. See if that'll work. Yeah, bare necessities coming right up. Baloo has just died in this one. He died of a broken heart. talks tone, sorry. Some lessons on modal interchange chords. Thanks so much for the donations, Blue and Alan. Hopefully you don't mind this attempt here at Little Wing. Bruce, give us that minor third. Where? Which minor third? That one. if you're buying a Catalyst, I wouldn't buy it especially for that. I'd get some studio monitors is my first. What I'm playing through right now, you're just hearing a Helix direct into the laptop, and then you're hearing just a room mic. Oh, and I've got a Henriksen Bud for me, but you're probably not hearing much of that at all. Can of beans, I'll do it one day. Mic is into the Helix, if that makes sense. So there's a condenser microphone up here, goes into the Helix, and I'm monitoring the Helix with my Henriksen Bud. Any plans on changing Nacho Telecaster's neck? Mr. Teabag asks. I'm probably not going to bother. Valdas says, how do you compare this K-line to the Nacho? It's very much less like a vintage guitar, if you get what I mean. Like, it's not trying to do that so much, but it is a very nice Telecaster. The neck is a much less aggressive V, like super soft V. It doesn't really feel that V-ish at all to me. This pickup here is microphonic, but other than that, I'd say it's pretty much perfect. I really like the pine on it. A Telecaster is a Telecaster is a Telecaster. These are quite bright pickups, I think, in comparison to the Nacho. It does sound very stratty on the neck. That's cool, yeah. Alan says, that's why I could never get into tellies. The neck is way too dark for me. This sounds good. That's I think like a Strat neck pickup is kind of perfect, and a Strat bridge pickup is kind of too bright. Meanwhile, you get the opposite with the telly, right, where the neck pickup is a little bit dark sometimes, and then the bridge pickup is kind of perfect. So kind of having a guitar somewhere in between the two, I think, is definitely a benefit. Any other questions about anything? feel free to ask. Or request for me to attempt and to ruin some of your favourite tunes. Can you try a strap backplate for science? On the bridge, you mean? Something Andy Timmons inspired. How does let me try. The only reason I can do it, I think, is because I do it an awful lot, Alan. It wasn't Marks and Spencer, John. We were nowhere near that high class as Morrison's. Well, do you know that they say regarding GDPR, no further action needed? Sometimes they change their mind. So I posted in the wrong chat. Yeah, he did post in the wrong chat, but we were talking privately about you can just leave a baby in there. Elodie is at the stage where she really likes being in the car, so in a way I don't feel like... Who am I to deprive her of that, even when it is hot? How do you film yourself during live stream, with a phone or a camera? Actually, if you're that interested in that, Gorav, the video that I did today that people didn't seem to watch much explains this camera. It's quite a cool little camera actually, but it does some cool things, like I think you can get it to track your face depending on the light. It might not work. Oh yeah. Anyway, stop doing that. But yeah, it's now in a bit of a low light situation, so it kind of does these hand gesture things, which is pretty cool. Oh no, there it is, it's doing it. Oh, you can see a picture of Elodie on the wall there as well. So now if I move, But yeah, that's today's video. If you wanted to see more about this specific camera, about something in the style of Rabia. I don't really play in his style. Wait, is that stopped? It's still doing it. The AI camera is taking over. Stop doing that. It's still tracking me. I think it's staying still now. I kind of stopped using my loop pedal after I got an audio interface and started using software. It's, yeah, good point. It is a good point, because once you're plugged into the computer, you're less likely to get out like a pedal, right? Yeah, I don't know. Get it out. Everybody was kung fu dancing. Where is Erod, bro? She's up in bed, but it's bedtime. John only has 6 videos and just rotates them. No one has noticed yet. They've noticed, but people notice. See you later, Joe. So, right. Any other questions about anything? Kid safety in cars? You need to ask AI nicely. Yeah, it can also do like a zooming thing, but I don't know if that's going to work. You could zoom in on my stupid face. Yeah, look. Do it. Wow. Look at it. It can in better lighting. When is the next live? I tend to do them on Tuesday evenings sometimes. Say please and thank you. Brit, where your manners. What is this stream? Needs a pesky chihuahua that wants to steal the limelight. What the stream needs. Where is he? He's done it right. So Ruben is more of Lenny's dog than mine. How does the Nacho compare to a Fender custom shop in terms of price? It's more priced between like a master built and a custom shop. So if you were to get like a master built, I saw one the other day actually. It's like 11 grand, which is crazy for a telly. But yeah, Nacho's less than that. I think about 7,000 euros, 6,500 euros now. Yeah, Plymouth Trouble one, the wife. Yeah, it hasn't zoomed right in, has it? You need more light. Yeah, I do, but it's night time now, and so there's a window behind me here, Jeremy. You look like someone directed an aeroplane to land in September, or is it more important to know the name of intervals or the sound of them? I would say the sound of them. Do I know Harley Benton? I've done some videos with the brand, yes. Yeah, I've done a couple over the years. No, but it gradually gets dark here. Harley Benton, who lives on Drury Lane. Harley was Joy Buzz's best man at the wedding. But that guy's now in prison. Soliciting a minor. Do you know Sean, man? He does some crazy good guitar competitions. Yes, you're the second person to mention it. Sean's cool. Got a mean funky tune. Not really. Let's try. It's going to be funk with reverb, which is not. Never tried any FRR Harley Benton. No, everyone's allowed a good guitar. Right, let's try and get a little meaner. Do I know any Giacomo songs? This one. That's a Giacomo one, right? And this one. Another Jacko solo, and then he did this little. This is Jacko lick. Almost. Yeah, I find it really hard to shred on this guitar with the lighter strings. Say hello to Lenny. Dogs. What do I think about Harley Benton guitars? I think they're a good budget option. A lot for your money with them. Oh yeah, that's because the dogs are barking. Yeah, Harley Benton, a good budget option. You get way more for your money than many other brands. Bad fret jobs, Joy Buzzer says, and on average £11. Gus says, what do I think of national tellies? I think it's a good idea, but I end up not loving having the little telly there. Hey Steve, how you doing? Still nothing from our man, Lee. MG Lax, I don't think the Ibanez AZ is a particular Strat guitar, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I think of that as more of a super Strat, like taking it after like a Sir. Why don't you just send that one back, Chris? I don't have nachos and K-lines, I have a nacho. Right, that's enough of trying to play funk. Right, I need to go to bed. So thanks everyone for checking in. One of his emails having some tech issues. Balls. He did email me about collecting some guitars and then he just disappeared. Yeah. Old man Fran, you missed almost nothing. I did some Giacomo licks. that one, isn't it? There's that Jacko lick. I'll catch you all in another video soon, and yeah, see you later. Get to see David Beebe tomorrow. Awesome. Cheers. Oh, thanks to everyone as well who left a donation. That's super appreciated. See you, Harry. Enjoy the FM9, and I'll see you in a bit.